This is 13 gallons.
I'm Huihui Kanahele-Mossman, and we plan to have a class here at Puʻuhuluhulu University, and we thought it'll be more intentional for us to have a class based on our practice of hula, and therefore we did what we've been doing for the past year and a half, which is experiment with different dyes. And I think what we wanted to really focus on was the plants that grow right here on the slopes of our Mauna. This natural dye that we're doing is ʻaʻaliʻi, and that's what you see on Puʻuhuluhulu. You see ʻaʻaliʻi. The other dye we're doing is ʻamauʻu. If you don't know what ʻamauʻu is this fern, this real prehistoric looking fern that you see all the way from mile marker 12 all the way up the hill to mile marker 20, all on side of the road. This is ʻamauʻu. Okay. And then the last dye we're doing came from ohia logs and people's imu and stuff like that. But it's nanaho. It's burnt ohia. And so those are the three natural dyes that we're doing today. We especially wanted to do these three because these are the plants that the mountain provides, and you're going to become very familiar with them in the next hour or so, and now you get to know that that's what you use while you're driving up the mountain. So the preparation for the dye that I did was the ʻamauʻu fern, being that I'm up here almost every day on Mauna, it was real convenient for me to take a little trip down the hill. So we're up like at about 22, 23 mile marker. I just went down to about the 15 mile marker to gather my ʻamauʻu fern, and then prior to that we always go to the DLNR DOFA office to get our permits to gather things on the Mauna. And so while up here, right after the noon ceremony, I ran down the hill just a little ways, gathered what I needed, gathered the amount of ferns that I needed to make the dye, and then drove back up to the summit access road and did the next ceremony. And then that weekend, I think it was, we crushed up the ʻamauʻu ferns, cut it into very manageable pieces. So each ʻamauʻu fern would be cut up into about 2 or 3 pieces. Using a heavy object, we lay the ʻamauʻu fern on wood. I think wood is best because then it won't get caught up in the cement textured foundations. And if you look here, you'll see it has dark dots in it. That's the dye that we use. Is that dark dot. And so in order to get the dye out, this is my favorite tool. Okay? All we do is smash it like this. The dye is actually in the stem or the backbone of the fern. And if you cut it in half, you'll see 5 dots of the dye. And that's what we need in order to dye our ʻaʻahu. And so you smash up the fern, and then you gather up all the smashed pieces and throw it in your pakini, and then fill your pakini up till it covers the ferns. Before you put your ferns in there, of course, you prepare your water by heating it up to a boiling point. I put 2 handfuls of salt in there, fill the pakini to about half, and then put 2 handfuls of salt and bring it up to a boiling point. Let it boil for a little bit so that the dyes seep out of the ferns, and then turn it off, and then just let it soak. After all the leaves is immersed in the water, we can leave it for a little while and let it cook. We'll put some lime in it after we take the leaves out. Yeah. Lime is the one that is the mordant.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. Is the mordant.
After the dye bath is boiled, and you take out your ferns and you let it boil some more, you want to put 2 cups of lime in it, and the 2 cups of lime, you make sure you mix it up with the dye bath water first, and then throw it back in the dye bath. That not only serves as a mordant, but it turns your dye into a more chocolatey ochre kind of color, and that color really soaks up into the material nicely. And then after that, you take out the dye, the ferns, and then you put your material in it, and then let the water heat up again. So that's what we did up here, and with the participants in the workshop, is we had them mix their own lime in their own cups of dye bath to look at the color change, and then they put it back in the bikini and let the water boil, and then threw their material in it. It's very successful. It turned out very well. The participants are now invested in the fact that a huge development on the summit of our mountain will affect the growth here on the slopes of the Mauna, as much as the students who came to our workshop were grateful to us that day for demonstrating this, we are equally grateful for them being a part of it and being able to dye their own ʻaʻauʻu and then use their ʻaʻauʻu after that as a meaningful part of what we are trying to do here. I'd like to thank, of course, Presley and Puʻuhuluhulu University for being more than accommodating and letting us do our workshop here in the Mauna, and being more than helpful in making sure we had a great workshop. So mahalo nui to all of them.
Come on.